Hello everybody, I'm Jim and this is my first YouTube video and I'm going to be a superstar like Cutie Pie and make $1 billion. First project is a really cool retro Nashville thing. So a friend of mine who makes custom knives and carves them and does beautiful work, look on your screen to see who he is on Instagram, had an extra piece of hickory as an old hickory. Andrew Jackson, we're in Old Hickory country, and I thought this was really cool, and what I want to do is I want to put a photograph on this wood and then use it as decoration. And what better way than to use one of the Nashville murals from over in Main Street in East Nashville is what we're going to do is we're going to put this picture over this wood, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be something that should be hanging in some kind of hipster coffee lounge. Here's what we do is we take a flat piece of wood. Now this is not perfect wood. My picture is going to be disturbed by this crack in there, but I think that kind of like natural thing is going to work for us in that look. First thing we need to do is use this stuff called Mod Podge, and this is called Photo Transfer Medium. You can get this at Hobby Lobby, and what it does is you put this down on the wood that you want the picture to appear on, and then you take a picture that you print out. It's got to be on a printer, not photographic paper. I just did this at Staples, and I flipped the image because what we're going to do is end up putting it down like this, and when the ink actually adheres to the wood, the image will then be the right way. And we're going to put some down, and then I'm just going to spread it around with a sponge brush, and we're just going to get it all over everything nice and thick. You don't want to do too little of this because then it won't pull the ink off the paper and onto the wood. We're going to set this aside. I'm going to take this photo, I'm going to put it this way, up, colors up, and I am going to lay it over the photo, and now I'm going to flip it over. And we are going to get rid of these little pockets and bubbles of air. Can you see those? I'm just going to spread those out and make sure that there's no pockets or bubbles, because if there is, then you're not going to get the ink onto the wood. And now we're going to let that dry for 24 hours. It's been a couple of days since we put this down. You only have to wait about 24 hours, but I have a life. So we're just getting to it now. So what you do is you get yourself maybe like an old janky washcloth, and you get it like damp, but not really wet, like so it's dripping. And we are just gonna place that down on top of the paper so that we're gonna get the paper kind of wet. I can see the image, it's coming through the paper because it's wet. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna gently rub with the washcloth over the image, and if you can see, what it's doing is really the paper is coming off and it is leaving the ink on the wood. You getting this, camera guy? Classic 2000s reference. Alright, so we have pretty much revealed our image, and it transferred most of the color, and some of the rubbing kind of gave it a little textured effect as the texture of the wood came through. If you've got really smooth wood, that won't happen unless you rub really hard, but it came out great. Now we're going to take Mod Podge, and this is going to seal it. This is an antique matte finish because I want that retro kind of dull look, but you can get glossy, all kinds of other stuff. And what we're going to do is just apply this with a thin layer onto the artwork. So we have applied the sealant and we now have the finished product. We have what turned out to be actually brighter colors after the antique matte finish was applied. So it kind of glossened it up, but it still looks great. I love the, kind of sketchy wood look. And almost, if you want to get a lighter color or even more retro, you might want to just make that filter on your original print a little lighter, because it'll brighten up once you put the sealant on. So here's what we've got. We've also got another side project I did. I found an old drawer bottom and I used the other side and applied this I Believe in Nashville mural, which is also pretty cool, but it's also not as aged. It's a little more glossy, a little more slick. I kind of prefer this one because it's old. So now you are very Nashville chic with your decorations. No man bun or gentrification required. Enjoy!